Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to BalaCore Fitness Show here on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. I'm Ellen Como, your host, and we're going to talk about the hows and whys of fitness today. Why? How? How do we do the moves that we do? Why are we doing them? There is so many times that people walk into the gym. I see them all the time. Working out, and there'll be two people standing next to each other that go to the same exact classes. One of them, they change. The other one doesn't change. Why is that? So we're going to talk about that today. At BalaCore, we are a classed type gym studio. We do classes all day. We have our first class as early as 4:30 a.m. Every one of our instructors is a little bit different, and they all bring something completely just new to the table. So anytime you walk into a class and it's a different instructor, it's never going to be any two the same. But today we're going to talk about my theory of fitness and being the inventor of BalaCore, which BalaCore is a flat bench and a floor model filled with air. So your spine's in a constant neutral, your core is engaged at all times, your balance is being challenged. And with that, what that does is it takes a lot of stress off your joints, but it takes your exercises into a high intensity. And if you're watching us right now on the podcast, I want to introduce Justice Rodriguez. There's your mic right there. Talk right in there. Say hi to everyone.
Hi, my name is Justice Rodriguez. I'm a Cal State Fullerton business student. I'm here just sitting in with Ellen today and just listening in. So.
Yeah, he's wanting to know about business. So, running your own business and what does that take? And so I said the best way to find out is come on in with me and see what we do every day as a business owner. It's not just being in the business and doing what we do, but there's a lot of stuff that we do outside. I know for myself, I like to do a lot of charity. One of the joys of owning a business in Santa Clarita Valley is you get to be part of a community. And that means you get to be part of a community that is so based in different charities for different events. We live in a very giving city. And you're going to find that out in Santa Clarita, if that's where you ever end up with business. That everyone here has such a giving heart, and there's never any. Here's my business. I'm going to run it, and I'm not going to look outside my little box. My business, what I'm doing in my business on the weekends, is helping out and contributing to other charities for people around the city. Like the one that I was at last week was for Single Mothers Outreach. Amazing organization. There's another one I'm going to be on the board soon that is going to be giving money to the food pantry. So there's so many different wonderful organizations to help everyone in Santa Clarita. It's kind of like a city in a city. It's like a city of very, very charitable organizations and then a city of businesses here. So it's really exciting to be able to do that. So as a business owner, you really get to have that opportunity. And owning BalaCore Fitness Studio was a dream of mine. Actually, my first dream never was to own a studio per se. I'd been working out in my garage for a very long time and training people in my garage because I was a single mom and I chose to stay at home with my children. It was my choice. But I had to make a living. So how can you make a living and stay at home? That's why I decided to have my studio in my garage. And then all of a sudden, I had a need for a product. And I looked everywhere and I couldn't find the product that was in my head that I envisioned that I wanted to use with my clients. And I couldn't find it. And I started searching everywhere. Couldn't find it. Came up, had it made, and then it actually just one kind of path led to another, and here's my studio open. And a lot of businesses happen that way where you just have a thought, idea, and a vision, and then it kind of takes its own life, and then you just kind of go on the journey with it and you're going to get closed doors, open doors, and sometimes you're going to have two open doors and you're going to have to decide which one you want to walk through. So that's BalaCore Fitness Studio in a nutshell, and here we are today, and so excited that I get to change the lives and help people with their body. And helping somebody with their body isn't just about helping them with their body. It's helping them with their self-esteem, with their health. It could be that they are somebody that's never been able to actually follow through with anything, and then they start to see results. And now they're learning how to be committed to something. And it has nothing to do with getting fit. But now they've got the gift of commitment, and that commitment gives them a better body. So it's really exciting being able to be part of that. But the show being the how and the why, so we will start let's start with the why first. The why about my studio. Why is it here? My studio is here so I can reach a larger audience with my interpretation of fitness and how I want to teach it. I've been teaching fitness for over 35 years. I've changed countless bodies over those years, and I've changed countless bodies without a lot of injury. And I had to learn that for myself because of being a single mom and a fitness model. I couldn't get injured and I couldn't stop working out because I needed to be able to pay my bills. So I needed to look like a fitness model, but I needed to protect my muscles and my joints at all times. And a lot of times that's where the best theories come from. They come from not even a desire, but a need. And a lot of products come from a need as well. So that is how my theory came to pass. How do I get my body in the best shape possible without having injuries? So when I get a phone call, I can show up and I cannot take the time off and allow my body to be any less so I can pay my bills. So that's the why of where, that I guess it's the how I came up with my theory. So now I have then I came up with the BalaCore. Now I have this great product. I'm still in my garage. I have up to 6 to 8 people working out in my garage. It got very, very tight quarters. And then I had someone come along and believe in my product and wanted to invest in my product and invest in me owning a company. And it came to me, I was sure, let's take it because I wanted a larger audience. I wanted to be able to change more lives than I was. The best part of being in fitness or any job is the lives that we get to change in the smallest way, no matter what we're doing. And the first thing I think all of us need to do is figure out what our purpose is. Like, everybody has a purpose. There's not one person that isn't born in the world that wasn't born with their purpose already instilled in them. And so many people go through life and never explore what my purpose is. And you're going to know very closely what your purpose is if your purpose is serving others in some way. If you think your purpose is all about you, that's probably not your purpose that you were born with. That was probably a little selfish purpose that sounded really good for the wrong reasons. And we've all actually gone down those paths at one time or another, and you know how it feels, and you're kind of going, wait a minute, this just isn't fulfilling me. Like, have you ever done something where you think you're going to be fulfilled? And then you get on and you're doing it and you're going, wow, this is not fulfilling me at all. Like, it looks really pretty and it should be really good and it looks really amazing. And it looks really amazing, but it's not, there's no fulfillment here, at all. Yeah. Okay, that's probably because you're not fulfilling your purpose.
Of course.
Yeah. If it's your purpose, you're filled up every day. Yeah. When I walk in front of my class every day and I'm standing there for that hour teaching, those are probably 60 of my best moments in the day. And then when I teach my second, third class, same thing. But that's when I know this is what I was put on earth to do. So that's kind of my how and my why. How I got here and why I'm here. Those are two things. And now I'm going to go on and talk to the people that come to my studio. And I'm going to kind of take this analogy and throw it into fitness and into my theory of fitness. Like I said, there's so many times you'll walk into a gym and you see 2 people doing the same thing. One person's getting results, one person is not. And that's what I call the how and the why. Because it's so important to know how to work out. But what a lot of us miss is why we're doing what we're doing. So when I'm teaching a class, not only do I tell everybody, okay, I want you to go run around the building. There's always a why. I tell them why. If I'm telling them to do an overhead military press, we go over the form. I break down the form almost if I was going to be teaching another trainer, because I truly believe everybody has the ability to learn just as much as I know. And I tell my class probably 2-3 times a week, or my classes that I teach throughout the day that you all are standing there and you know just as much as I do is the day I did my job.
Yeah.
Now I succeeded. And the day I walk into the class and think, oh shoot, I better step up my game because you are all looking and doing amazing in here, that's the day where I've succeeded as well. So I want to be able to give as much information and as much knowledge and as much results to my members that I possibly can. And that's when I came up with kind of the how and the why in my classes. So we're starting a class, and we might be working on 3 or 4 different body parts: back, bicep, core, and quads. So what I'm going to do in that class is I'm going to break down every single move that we do. If we're doing overhead military press, I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to tell you why you're doing it, what muscles you should be feeling, and then everybody's going to try it and do it. And then I'll look around the room and I'll be able to tell, wait a minute, we might need to change something. And then we change it. So everybody gets the most that they can out of it. So that's really an important thing to do. And then we go in, and now they know how to do it. They know why they're doing it. And the other beautiful part of that is that they're not in the grocery store shopping. They're not on to their next errand. They're really focused on what I'm teaching them. And every set that we do, I give them one more thing to work on. And, you know, this is going to make such a big difference in their results, because if you're standing there, and this is everybody listening, if you're standing there going through the motions of a workout, you are missing out on so many opportunities for results. You need to know every muscle in your body, how to activate that muscle. You should be able to activate that muscle without any weight at all. There was a guy that used to go to a public gym that I worked in years ago, and he would walk in and his body was ripped, and he would never pick up a weight. And he'd go through all these motions and movements, and people would kind of make fun of him a little bit because, you know, he was out of the ordinary. He didn't fit into the rest of what everybody else was doing. I didn't see it that way. I saw it as somebody that knew something better than I did, because he wasn't using any weights and his body looked amazing. So I walked up to him one day when he was doing this workout, and I asked him, can you just teach me a little bit about what you're doing and how you're getting these results? And he kind of took me through, and I really learned from him. You can use a muscle without even using a weight, and you can actually make your muscles strong and show and have a beautiful muscle without using weights. And he did that by teaching his brain completely how to use that muscle, and it was so fascinating. And that's something that is part of what I do. We do use a lot of weights in my classes, but that's just a theory that I got to learn. And I think that's really, I think that's something that everybody needs to realize too. In anywhere you are, in any business, in anything that you do, just because somebody walks in the door and doesn't look like everybody else, don't assume that they're the freak and they don't know what they're doing. Usually there's somebody that you can learn something from. And the day that we think we know it all and we can't learn from somebody somewhere is the day that we're really not giving ourselves enough credit for how smart we can become and how much more we have to learn and we're capable of learning. So I grab onto theories all the time. And there's times where even I might be going with my theory, like straightforward, and I decide, wait a minute, I hear what somebody has to say, and I'm open-minded to the fact that, wow, I could learn something from this person. And there's little things that I've thrown in my workout and my theory of fitness that have come from me saying, oh no, that'll never work. And in the quiet depths of the night when no one's looking, I try it and I'm like, wow, that did work. Okay. Wow, I owe them an apology. This is really great. And I learned from it and bring it to my members. So if you're going to the gym, if anyone's going to the gym right now and you're listening to this show, if you do walk into the gym and you are just going with emotions, and let's say you're doing a pull down machine, you just grab it and start pulling it down. You're not paying attention to where your hands are. You're not paying attention to what muscle you're using. You are really not getting the benefits of the gym and everything that it has to offer. And if you need to know what those things are, that's when you do reach out to a trainer that you know, that you can trust. And don't just grab somebody because you like the way they look, although you want them to look fit. Talk to about 3 or 4 of them. Find out how great of a teacher are they. Because a trainer could look amazing, But if they can't communicate and they can't teach and they're not willing to teach, you're going to walk away more frustrated than you are with results. So talk to them and make sure you kind of speak the same language. Sometimes people speak different languages and they get motivated in different ways. I tend to be the kind of motivator where I teach, I instruct, I break things down, I give them things to think about. We have Rael, who is going to be coming up right after us on the show. He's high energy, motivating. He's like this little motivating speaker. He's jumping around. The guy hasn't even worked out, and he's like sweat's pouring off of him because he's just so passionate. And and he reaches a lot of people with that passion. So everybody reaches somebody in a different way. And it's so important to know that when you're looking for someone that you want to be your teacher in fitness. And if you've never had someone to really break things down for you and teach you how to do it, I would really, really encourage you to do that in some way. Now, I do it in a class type setting. And what we do is we go through, and it was funny, when I first started bringing this into my classes, people were like, oh my gosh, she's talking so much. Please stop talking. Just kind of like I'm doing now. She's talking so much. She just goes. And then when I told one of my members, actually walked up to me and said to me, you talk too much at the end of the class. And I said, well, why don't we, I have a deal with you. Why don't you listen to what I'm saying, and in about a week come back and tell me if I talk too much. And she now is one of the people that we use on our ads. She's gotten one of the best results of anyone that I've ever trained, because she said, gosh, as soon as I started listening to what you were telling me to do, my body started to change. So that is, it's a great story because it's true. We're so used to going into a fitness class and just kind of blindly going through, okay, everybody, let's do this, let's do that, now go here, now go there, and everybody just kind of follows along, and there's nobody in there that's going, if I said to them, so why did you do that move? I don't know why I did that move. I'm just doing it because they told me to do it. I want in my class, if I ask, why did we just do that? They'll shout it back at me, which I love. And we were going through a move last week, and I actually taught them, you have 3 different muscle groups moving in this particular move. And we did the move probably about 5 sets, because we're going to keep doing it, and we're going to keep doing that move, that set, until everyone in the class raised their hand and said, I got the 3. And then it took about 5 sets for everybody to get it. Sometimes it only takes 3, but then that's that is the why. That's the how. How do I do it? What am I supposed to be feeling here? And there's so many, so many times you're in a class, and I see it all the time, and I can tell my members when I'm looking around the room, somebody that's just kind of going through the motion and somebody that's actually working the muscle they're supposed to be working. And I might walk up to them and just kind of go, well, what muscle was that? And if they don't know the whole class, here's the whole thing again. But those are the hows and the whys of how I teach. And it's so important, if you're trying to change your body, to know how and why. Not only how and why you're doing the exercises that you are, in what order that you're doing them, and what muscles that you're working, but it's also important to know with nutrition the how and the why. Why am I supposed to eat this? Why do you have me eating all this protein? If I just say, just eat your protein and don't tell you why, is it going to mean as much to you? If I really sit down and talk with you about how you need the protein for your muscle growth and what it does for you, and I go into specifics about how this is going to change your body, then you're going to go, wait a minute, when you're done, you're going to be a lot more aware of taking in that protein. So it's such an important thing to know the hows and the whys of what you're doing when you walk in a gym. So we're going to take a break coming up right now. And when we get back, we're really going to go into specifics of the hows and whys of a fitness class. We'll be right back. This is Ellen Como on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.